Hello, this is Bill Steffen. Thanks so much for checking out my video log today. I don't know if you can see behind me at all here, but I have changed venues. We had such a nice warm day today. I have moved out to the three-season porch that we have here, so you can see the windows there behind me. And boy, what a great day today. Temperatures reached the low 80s over much of West Michigan, but quite a variation in temperatures today. And that's where we start. Take a look at this. At the Moskegan beach, there are a couple of different thermometers. There's one right by the edge of the water there on the beach, and there's another one that's out on the pier that's out there. And that is a picture taken today of the Moskegan Channel. That is the Moskegan GLERL camera. GLERL stands for Great Lakes Environmental Research Lab. And if you ever take the Lake Express ferry or go out through the channel, you can see their building right there. But the Moskegan beach temperature fell 17 degrees in 1 hour when the lake breeze kicked in. That was Thursday. The air temperature was 67 at 11 a.m. Then the wind direction changed from northeast off the warmer land to northwest off the cold water. And the air temperature at noon was down to 50. So that means while it's warming up during the day over most of the area as the sun's climbing higher, the temperature here at the beach fell 17 degrees in 1 hour. And that's something that you can sometimes see here in the early spring. The thermometer out at the end of the pier was a touch cooler. It was 64 there at 11 a.m. and it fell to 49 at noon. And at noon, the air temperature inland at the Moskegan Airport was 72. So that's a distance of about 3 miles. And you'd find the temperature difference there to be, what would that be, 23 degrees? I mean, that's pretty amazing. And another slide to show you what happened down toward South Haven. The South Haven Lighthouse has weather instruments on it and a camera. And the camera caught somebody coming in the channel, and looks like he's got his hands in his pockets there. It's probably pretty cold. But look at the temperature. Temperature there was 59 degrees at 11 a.m., and that was the high temperature for the day at that thermometer site. So, inland temperatures were in the 70s and low 80s. Right at the water, it was much cooler and you needed a jacket. And look at the high temperatures that we had today. Battle Creek, 83. That's the average high temperature in mid-July. Kalamazoo, 82. Grand Rapids at 81. As you went north, it turned a little bit cooler. It was Big Rapids was 77. Cadillac at 74. And look at Sault Ste. Marie. The warm air never got up there. Their temperature never got warmer than the low 40s here this afternoon. And I noted it was in the 40s also on Mackinac Island. So if you're up in that neck of the woods, you can have a pretty chilly day, even if it's quite warm down here. Well, let's take a look at Lake Michigan's water temperature. It was 40.6 today. That's at the buoy out at Mid-Lake. And that warmed up half a degree since yesterday. So that's a pretty fair climb, but the winds have been fairly light. And that allows that surface water to warm up a little bit more than the water underneath. Reed's Lake water temperature climbed a couple since yesterday at 55 degrees. Miami, Florida, the beach water temperature there was a very warm 79. So if you've been down in Florida, or if you know somebody down there, they've enjoyed a lot of warm weather. The past couple of weeks, there's been temperatures around 90 degrees and a lot of sunshine there. All right, let's move on and take a look at our severe weather threat here. As you can see, we're in the light green today. There is a chance of a shower or thunderstorm springing to life, though much of the day it will not be raining. Best bet for a thunder shower will be right around the dinner hour along I-69 from Lansing on down toward Battle Creek, and from there off toward the east. I can't rule out a shower or thunder shower everywhere, but we're not anticipating any severe weather. There's only a level 1 or marginal threat of severe weather down across North Texas and into south central Oklahoma. Severe weather threat then for next Monday, it looks like this. The weekend should be sunny and dry here in West Michigan, but that's a pretty significant severe weather outlook. That orange would be the equivalent of an enhanced outlook. So I imagine some severe weather chasers are going to be out in Iowa here during the day on Monday. The slight risk would come east all the way to Lake Michigan. So I'll have to keep an eye on things. If we get any thunderstorms here, it would be probably Monday night rather than during the day. Let's take a look right now at Tuesday. Tuesday, that area shifts to the east, and we have a slight risk or a 15% chance of a severe weather report within 25 miles of a given location. If you were to draw a line from about Holland over to the Port Huron area south of there is the best bet for a heavy thunderstorm, and that would be again during the day on Tuesday. So after a pretty pleasant weekend, we could be tracking a few heavy thunderstorms coming through the area next Monday night and on Tuesday. Time to say thank you to our sponsors. We start with Complete Care Concierge.
Need a fast, efficient, and affordable cleaning service? Complete Care Concierge has you covered. Serving all of West Michigan, we offer one-time, daily, weekly, and bi-weekly cleans, plus move in, move out. We also service apartment hallways and laundry rooms. Our work is guaranteed, gift cards are available, and we even clean on weekends. There's no better way to say I love you than giving a tired mom a break from dishes and laundry. Are you a busy professional? Pamper yourself by taking vacuuming and dusting off your plate. Office manager, keep your business looking and feeling its very best. Call 616-264-1397 today for a spotless space and total peace of mind.
When your home needs help, you might not know where to start. Why not ask Ace? We're always here to help with Ace Handyman Services. Our talented craftsmen handle everything from drywall and carpentry to doors and kitchens. We're the neighbors you trust to get the job done right. Let's get started. Book your handyman appointment today. Ace Handyman Services, bringing helpful to your home.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
And ACE offers service to both residential and commercial users. So if you're in a business and you need some help getting something fixed, make sure you call them. Let's take a look at 66-hour precipitation and a lot of green across the country. So a lot of areas seeing some springtime showers. Most of Florida stays dry. In fact, the only state that's totally dry is Arizona. I don't see any green there, though it probably comes close down there in southwest Utah. Look at the precipitation in California. It may be showering all the way down toward Los Angeles, which is kind of unusual. This is where we start to get the dry season out there, but good amount of rain for the Texas plains, and on the whole, they like having that rain this time of year. Not much for us, though. As you can see, just that light green over much of West Michigan, and that would be the equivalent of a tenth to a quarter of an inch of rain would be all that we would see here. In terms of snowfall, guess which state gets the most snow? Believe it or not, it's California over the next 3 days. And you can see that that's up in the mountainous areas there, the Sierra Nevada range, which runs along the east part of California right there. And some of the areas picking up yellow and orange, indicating over 6 and then over 8 inches of snow expected here over the next 3 days. Still some snow falling there toward Yellowstone, but snow really non-existent in the eastern half of the country over the next 3 days. Well, here's our headlines. Chance of a shower today, could be an isolated thunder shower. Dry Saturday and Sunday. Storm for next Tuesday, a possibility, especially if you're south of Grand Rapids. And cooler weather for the weekend as temperatures fall back into the low 60s here for Saturday and maybe low to mid 60s on Sunday. Still fairly pleasant weather expected here. It will be a bit breezy during the day on Saturday as winds turn to the north. Taking a look at our forecast here for today, not quite as warm as we were on Thursday, low to mid 70s. Again, it will be a bit cooler near Lake Michigan with winds out of the southwest to start and then shifting more to the northwest as a cool front comes through, about 10 to 15 miles an hour. Humidity not too bad. Skies should be anywhere from partly to mostly cloudy here during the day. There'll probably be a little sun poking through from time to time. Taking a look at some high temperatures for the day today. Quite a variation of temperatures. Look at Ludington with 51 for a high temperature. That's down by the water. And if you look down toward Three Rivers, Sturgis, Hillsdale, temperatures down there well up into the mid 70s. So that's about a 25-degree difference just across the TV viewing area here. And you can see the milder air off to the east. And where the warmer temperatures are, that's the best bet for picking up an afternoon or evening thunderstorm. Less of a chance of that as you head into the cooler air off to the northwest. It's up in the 40s up across the UP, so the snow continues to melt up there without any heavy rain to add to any additional flooding. Saturday, temperatures a touch cooler, and it may feel a touch cooler because we'll have a north wind at about 15 miles an hour, but still, we reach the upper 50s to around 60 in Grand Rapids, beach temperatures will likely only be around 50 for a high. Could even hold around 49 or so up toward Ludington by the water. So probably a jacket handy here. But even if we start out cloudy here Saturday morning, it should clear out and give us at least partly sunny skies for the afternoon. Beautiful day coming up on Sunday as temperatures head back up into the mid-60s in inland areas. And again, a good 10 degrees cooler near Lake Michigan. You see that kind of rim of green right around the lakeshore where they're going to have a west wind on our side of the lake in Michigan, and you're going to get an east wind over in Milwaukee, which should keep their temperature 5 to 10 degrees cooler than inland areas over there. And the UP gets up into the 50s here on Sunday, so they will be seeing a nice sunny day up there as well. We'll take a look at the 5-day forecast here. Chance of a shower, not a sure thing. I'd put it at about 50-50 here for the day on Friday. And there is a chance for a thunder shower. Best bet for that would be, again, along I-69 towards the evening. Temperatures low 70s. It will be a touch cooler than that near the lake, probably around 60 or so. Saturday, nice day. It becomes sunny and maybe some clouds around in the morning. 61, a bit cooler near the lake. Sunday, sunshine and 65 should be a nice day. Monday looks good as temperatures warm back up above 70. And then that chance for a shower or a storm during the day on Tuesday, the day we'll have to watch for an isolated severe storm. Taking a look at the long-range outlook here, we like to show this when I think it's doing a good job. And as you can see, the only below average area temperature-wise is down in Texas, where they're going to be getting some rain and more cloud cover. We're a little bit above average here with the heat going strong with temperatures in the 80s from Montana east into Minnesota. Some are really taken over there. And this is for May 2nd through the 8th. The weather looks pretty good here for the start of Tulip Festival, the Tulip Festival over in the Holland area. And there's the precipitation outlook. Precipitation is, of course, rain and melted snow combined. I don't think we'll see any snow, but all in all, that below certainly indicates that we should be seeing some sunshiny and dry weather here for the first week of May. So all in all, things are looking pretty good. Michelle's working at the airport tonight, but she sent along some slides for us here. And we start with a look back in 1976. The winter of 76-77 was the coldest winter of the entire 20th century. No, wait a minute, I think 1903-04 tied it maybe, but it was a very cold period during the winters of the late 70s. In 1976, Lansing set a record for the most snow on any April 25th. That was 4.3 inches. And in Grand Rapids, we had 3 inches here in Grand Rapids. So, of course, snow doesn't last very long, and the average high temperature is 60. So it disappears pretty fast, but kind of interesting to see a snowy day here in late April. We've had shovelable snow as late as May the 9th here in West Michigan. And that occurred twice. I believe it was 1903 or 1904. And then again in 23 or 27? Might have been 1927. Okay. So let's take a look at some interesting information here. You know, you've heard of spelling bees, and we have a geography bee and whatnot. But there's a Michigan History Day state finals that's going on at Central Michigan University. Students write papers, have exhibits, performances, and other works. Grades 3 through 12 are participating, and the state finalists can advance to the nationals, which occur at the University of Maryland in June. So we wish them the luck. And Michelle is a undergrad history major. I've always loved history. I think there's so much that we can learn from history and stuff that's really kind of interesting, and not just the battle on this date, but inventions and whatnot and how they came to be. Some of those historical facts are pretty interesting to me. Okay, Maple Syrup Festival. Maple syrup is the first agricultural product of the year. And this goes back to when the Native Americans used to tap into the trees and get maple syrup. This is the Vermontville Maple Syrup Festival. Vermontville, you can see where the star is there. It's off to the east-southeast of Grand Rapids in Berry County, I believe, eastern Berry County. Festival goes on this weekend, April 25 to 27. Calls itself the granddaddy of maple syrup festivals. You can buy maple syrup, of course, and this was a pretty good year for maple syrup. Maple cotton candy, carnival rides, parades, a petting zoo, pageant princess. You can be Miss Maple Syrup, and games and entertainment as well. So if you're looking for something to do this weekend, you might want to head to Vermontville. Take a look at another something here. This is April 25th, the National Day for this invention and communications device, but only 28% of U.S. households still have the InHome version. Can you hear me now? Okay, I'm sure that would be a phone. Would it be a landline phone? Yeah, the telephone. Oh, look at the picture. Look at. I bet Michelle took that of me when we were in London, England, because remember they would have those telephone booths. You remember making calls like that outdoors? For those of you that are my age, I'm about to turn 74. It cost a dime, and if you were making a call, you sometimes had to put in more change. Add 15 cents or add 20 cents. Seniors are the group least likely to own one. Okay. 98% of Americans own a cell phone. How do you get along without one? You have to have a cell phone for secondary verification on websites. We just showed a story on the news about how a Walmart down in Texas is going to use your cell phone to check out at the grocery store, whereas if you get an item, you scan it and then put it in your cart. And then you just go and leave. And it's amazing what's coming down the peak here, and what our seniors like myself are going to have to learn to keep up with technology now. But that's it. Telephone's pretty amazing thing. We've come a long way since Alexander Graham Bell called Watson, who was, I think, in Chicago, if I'm not mistaken. April 25, 1898, Grand Rapids smoke abatement ordinance passed. Now, obviously, that was not smoking cigarettes, because everybody smoked cigarettes into about the 60s here, but let's see what it says. Addressing smoke emissions as a public nuisance, not like cigarette smoking, like smokestack and chimney emissions. And it says a fine of $10 to $100 and prosecution costs or jail time of 10 to 90 days. Wow. $100 in 1898 is about, almost $4,000 today. Grand Rapids still has an air pollution law, but it has been updated. And that's kind of a subjective thing. I mean, people put fires in fireplaces and whatnot. And I don't know where you would draw the line with something like that. Interesting. I have a wood insert in the basement, though I haven't used it this year. We've had too much other stuff going on here. But it's interesting, and there's an image of Grand Rapids down there at the bottom. That is in the public domain. You get pictures like that we can use here on the vlogs. All right, let's see what else here. April 25, 1885, excavation began for Smith's Opera House at 62 Waterloo Street in Grand Rapids. That does not ring a bell for me. Waterloo was renamed Market Street in 1889. A block south of the Van Andel Arena, and Market Street runs along the Grand River. Yes, it does. Smith's Opera House had electric and gas lights, and that goes back to 1885, so that's pretty interesting. Total seating capacity was 1,316. By comparison, the Civic Theater now seats 700. The Opera House closed in 1906, then was Mel Trotter's rescue mission for many years. And Mel Trotter is an interesting story if you ever want to read something interesting about his life. Sadly, today, it looks like all that's there is a parking lot. Interesting. All right, let's go on in National Poetry Month, okay? Poetry Month. A meteorologist named Bill gave the weather on target until TV8 found it neat that there was no non-compete. So he spent 20 years on Heritage Hill. Well, how about that? That is a great poem, Michelle. That's the first time I'm reading through that. And a little history fact about me. I worked 26 years for Channel 13 and 24 years for Channel 8. And I very much liked and appreciated both of my owners and my bosses at the time. I had a great career, and a part of that was due to the fact that I worked with some really excellent people at both stations over the years. Okay, let's go on here. Last slide we have here from John Scully. We have some nice cirrus clouds here. These are made up of tiny ice crystals, and up where these clouds are occurring, the temperature might be below zero. even on a hot day here during the summer. The ground heats up, the air near the ground warms up, but it stays cold up there. The sun can pretty much pass through dry air without warming up very much. But interesting picture from John. We appreciate the pictures that he sends. He's along the lakeshore between Grand Haven and Muskegan. So we've come to the end of our video journey today. Hope you appreciate it. Thanks so much. We appreciate you sending us pictures. You can do that. And I appreciate the YouTube channel here, which is at Bill Steffen 616, or you can check out past videos at billsteffen.com. Have a great day and a super weekend. And once again, this is Bill Steffen.